All right, today we're zeroing in on a coastal real estate market that's been quietly building up some serious steam. We're going to break down why Ecuador, and in particular its Pacific coastline, might just be the massive opportunity you've been looking for. So let's dive right in. So ask yourself, are you looking for that next big frontier in real estate investment? You know, a place that has rock-solid fundamentals but is still undervalued, with a really clear runway for growth? Well, stick around because we're about to lay out a very compelling case for why that exact opportunity is waiting for you on the shores of Ecuador. Okay, first things first, we've got to build the foundation. Before we even get to the beautiful beaches and the properties themselves, you have to understand the big picture. So, why Ecuador? Well, honestly, it all kicks off with one of the most critical factors for any international investor. That's right, the US dollar. And this, my friends, is a total game changer. See, Ecuador's entire economy is dollarized. That immediately wipes out a huge layer of currency risk that you'd face in other emerging markets. For an investor, that means stability and predictability right from day one. It's a huge deal. And that stability, it's fueling some very real growth. Ecuador's own central bank is projecting a healthy 3.8% GDP growth for 2025. So this isn't some stagnant market we're talking about. It's an economy that has positive momentum, which acts as a powerful tailwind for any real estate investment. So, when you start putting all these pieces together, the picture gets crystal clear. You've got property prices that are still affordable, especially compared to the West. You've got that stable US dollar economy we just talked about. And on top of that, there's a growing wave of interest from buyers in North America and Europe. Add in some very favorable government policies and the whole global trend of digital nomads, and you've got a seriously powerful mix of demand drivers. Okay, so we've established the country's fundamentals are solid, but where exactly should we be looking? Where's the opportunity really concentrated? For that, we need to zoom in on the Manabí province, which is, right now, the engine of coastal development for the entire country. And Manabí is no small player. We're talking about a population of almost 1.7 million people. It's a real hub of economic activity, everything from commerce and fishing to, most importantly for this story, a tourism sector that is absolutely booming. This gives you a built-in domestic demand and a strong local workforce. And this right here, this shows you the two sides of Manabí perfectly. On one hand, you have the established modern city of Manta. It's already a proven luxury market. But on the other hand, you have the future, these vast stretches of pristine, undeveloped coastline. This isn't just a story about what's already been built. It's really about what's coming next. And let's be clear, the high-end market here is not a theory, it's a fact. In some of the exclusive developments in Manta, homes are already selling for over $500,000. So the proof of concept is there. Premium value is already a reality in this province. The real question is, where's the next Manta going to be? And that question brings us down to the micro level. We're heading down the coast to an area that truly represents that next wave of opportunity, Playa Cañaveral. It's located right in the corridor between Pedernales and Cojímias. And this is where the frontier story really starts to get exciting. Let's put this in perspective with some hard numbers, because this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the price per square meter in this specific part of Manabí. We're talking as low as $10 to $59. Now compare that to a mature market like Guanacaste in Costa Rica, where you won't find anything for under $100 a meter. This right here is what an early stage opportunity looks like on paper. You've got massive potential for appreciation and the actual physical space for large-scale developments that are just impossible in those more saturated markets. And hey, it's not just us saying this. This quote from a recent market analysis just drives the point home. This exact corridor is being called out as the last frontier for this kind of investment. It's the type of place where high growth isn't just a hopeful possibility, it's the fundamental expectation. So let's recap. We've gone from the country to the province to a specific up-and-coming corridor. Now let's focus on the one Keystone asset that could unlock the potential of this entire area. A truly unique 26-hectare plot of land. 26 hectares. Just let that number sink in for a second. In coastal real estate, scale is everything, and finding an uninterrupted piece of land of this size right on the coast, well, that's the kind of opportunity that almost never comes along. This is the kind of scale that allows you to build a true destination. And with that kind of scale, you're not just building a few nice houses. You're creating an entire master-planned community. Imagine integrated residential areas, hotels, shops, and recreational spaces, all working together in one cohesive vision. This property has the critical mass to become the value anchor for the entire region. And here it is. This is the money shot. This is the value proposition in its clearest possible form. The current entry price per square meter is incredibly low. But once a master-planned community is developed on this anchor property, the projected value for those finished lots could soar to $120 per square meter, maybe even more. That right there is the power of creating value through smart, large-scale development. Okay, so the strategic case is clear as day, but what about the financials? I mean, do the numbers actually back up the story? Let's break down the returns and the incentives that make this so compelling. All right, so based on what we've seen in similar resort developments in other emerging markets, the projected returns here are staged and, well, they're very attractive. In the short term, as the infrastructure goes in, you're looking at a solid 5 to 7% annual return. But watch what happens as the project matures. In the medium and long term, those returns are projected to jump up to 15 and then even over 20% annually. This is a strategy for sustained long-term wealth creation. And if that wasn't enough, on top of those organic returns, the Ecuadorian government is offering a really robust package of incentives for tourism projects like this. We're talking zero VAT, a massive 150% deduction on infrastructure costs, zero income tax for the first 5 years if you're in a tourism-free zone, and incredibly fast asset depreciation. You add all that up, and these incentives alone can boost the project's overall profitability by up to 20%. So we've covered the macro stability of the country, the provincial growth, the micro location's huge potential, and the powerful financial case for this specific Keystone asset. So what's the next move? How do you seize this opportunity? The path forward is designed to be professional and totally straightforward for serious investors. Step 1 is to request the complete private dossier, which has all the technical analysis. From there, you can review the detailed financial models. And finally, you can schedule a guided in-person tour of the 26-hectare site to really experience the potential for yourself. Which really brings us to the final question. With all the pieces aligned, from economic stability to a rare, large-scale property in an emerging area, the opportunity is right there in front of you. So are you ready to secure your position in what could very well be the future of Ecuador's luxury coast?